Hi, I'm Mark Wolf, and I'm here with another one of my favorite trees at the Arboretum. This is a particular yellow birch that I am standing here as a snow squall has crept up on us. But this is one of my favorite trees. Nobody would ever know why, but it's only because when I got here 6 years ago, it was actually a kind of a small little lovely little yellow birch, and over the 6 years I've been here, it's really taken off. And that's one wonderful thing about planting a tree or keeping your eye on a favorite little tree, is that over time, in a very short time, it's going to become a really well-established part of the forest. But why do I love yellow birches in general? The bark, as you can see, it can go from amber yellow to sort of a silvery bark. Different than the paper birch, which is a whiter bark, and unlike the paper birch, which sort of peels in these larger plates, this one, if you can see it peels, the bark peels in these little sort of ringlets. So that's one difference. Also, unlike paper birch or unlike sweet birch or gray birch, this is really more of a tree of the forest. It's tolerant of sort of medium shade, so it does really grow in the forest, whereas the other birches that are native to around here are what we call pioneer species. They move into sunny areas. Yellow birch also has these incredible root systems. It's sort of really known for how its roots go all over the forest floor, or over logs, or over stumps, because it likes to germinate in these sort of mossy areas on old down logs. And then as the log decomposes, the roots that have formed over the log, as the log decomposes, the roots will sort of stand up in the air. So you can see yellow birches around with these, like they sort of look like they're walking through the forest. And they'll also crawl over boulders because they can germinate on the moss on boulders. It's also, compared to the other birches, a very tolerant tree. It's more tolerant of shade, more tolerant of moisture. It grows in moist, cool woods. I think its southern sort of border is kind of like New York City, maybe the Long Island region. I could be wrong. Well, it grows further south up in the mountains, like the Southern Appalachians. So I was wrong about that. And it's, so I was saying it's more adaptable. It's more tolerant of different soil conditions. And along with hemlock, balsam fir, and spruce, it's one of our oldest species at the Arboretum. We have in the fossil record back to 13,000 years old, where we've corded out of the emerald bog. So we know that this species has been around for a long time. Another great thing about the yellow birch is when you scratch at the twig, it's got this great wintergreen smell to it. So that's my favorite tree for today, and I hope you've enjoyed learning a little about it with me.